Hey, what's up, friends? Ray with Talking Timberworks. How y'all doing? So in today's wood turning video, we have spindle turning practice. And to be more exact, we have spindle gouge practice. I'm new to wood turning. I've only been doing it just barely over a year. I taught myself bowls prominently first up, and I feel I kind of missed out a lot by missing out the spindle turning. I think I'm not lost, but I missed out on a lot of fundamentals of how things work, how the wood presents itself, how the tools cut in the wood, and you know, the difference between slicing and peeling and various planing cuts, you know, the various different techniques that you use. And I also have started selling a lot of my items at the local craft show. My little town here in Michigan has a little, the township actually has its own little maker market, and it's once a month, and I've done okay. I've sold a few bowls, but it seems like spindle work is where it's at. Smaller items that are a little bit on the cheaper side, maybe a little more practical. So I'm doing honey dippers, and it's great practice. You get to use a skew, you get to use a spindle gouge, depending on how you want to roll your beads, and it's sellable. When I Googled and searched around on YouTube, at least, for spindle gouge practice, the thing that comes up major every time is bead and cove sticks. And really, those are just a cool piece of firewood. There's no purpose to it. You can't really display them. You can't really sell them. You just burn them. They're kind of trash. And I'm thinking I get about the same practice doing these, and these sell great. I've already had a couple of different beekeepers ask me to start turning them for them so that they could buy them at bulk. I'm not there yet. I can't, you know, justify selling them at a discount price right now and you know, give them the price that they want, because I'm not fast enough yet. But you know, I'll get there. I'm just having fun and learning turning. And then I also want to reiterate on that, you know, so I've got a channel out that I did before, and chainsaws took over the channel and YouTube stopped pushing my turning content. So I almost abandoned that channel as a wood turning channel, and I started this one. So I've kind of tried to get it out there and make it clear that I am not an instructor or a teacher or an advanced turner. I've been doing this, you know, just over a year. I started Father's Day weekend last year in 2023, and you know, it's more of my learning journey as I go. You know, I'm not the greatest how-to guy, because as you can see in this video, I'm figuring it out as I go. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm the best way to get better at anything turning related that I have found is to just put the tool in the wood. You know, you can watch all the videos you want, and you can take all the lessons you want, but until you actually just get repetitions and start putting the tool in the wood and figuring out how it cuts, how it feels, how the different woods react to the different approaches with your tools, you're never going to go anywhere until you start playing around. Like I said, I kind of almost handicapped myself in the beginning just doing bowls. But I wanted to be, you know, I watched Tomislav and Richard Raffin a lot. And I didn't want to progress, you know, past bowls until I could turn out a bowl in 10, 15 minutes like them. I'm not there. I don't know if I'll ever get there. Them dudes are fast. But it's a goal to work to. I haven't branched out into embellishing and a lot of the more artistic forms of turning, because I don't feel my fundamentals and my basics are covered yet. I feel I need a lot of more work. I love seeing it. I love watching it when other turners do it, I love seeing guys bring them in, you know, to the local club meetings or the weekly Zoom meetings on the Worldwide Woodturners. It's great to see all this cool stuff that people are doing, but for myself, I don't think I'm there yet. I want to get good at the not just the basics of turning, but the art of turning before I branch out and try and bring other elements into it. If any of y'all can understand what I'm saying about that. So here it is. This is practice. This is great practice. What I did was I kind of, my banner and my business card and all that stuff says basically, you know, salvaged Michigan timbers. So I want to keep that. And what I didn't do a lot of spindle turning because I don't buy wood, and I can't keep that salvaged reclaimed timber kind of promise or slogan if I do, until I found a sawmill local, the next little township over, and the guy does basically what I do. He gets wood from tree services throughout the local area. He just has the equipment to cut it up and kiln dry it. So I bought a couple of 1-inch boards from him of local salvage reclaimed timber that's been kiln dried. That's what's been hurting me on the spindle practice. I don't have kiln dried timber. I only have green stuff. I'm starting to dry stuff out, but I don't have a stock of spindle turning blanks that I've recovered myself and have dried myself. So this is cool. I hope this works out with this guy. He seems to be the cheapest around, and this is fun. So to make these turning blanks, what I did was I cut these boards into 7-inch lengths, and then I rip cut them, you know, along the fence, 1-inch thick, roughly. Like the silver maple was 7-inch thick, so I cut them that thickness also. I matched it. I think the oak in there was like 1 3/8. So I just tried to make them square. The Siberian elm was 1 inch. And I did all this on my bandsaw. I have a old Delta table saw, 10-inch table saw that I picked up. It's like a contractor one, but I haven't used it yet. I've been kind of, I picked it up off Marketplace for $50 and it's been sitting there. I need to de-rust the table. The guy kept it outside and I don't trust the blade on it. And it doesn't seem to have a riving knife. So I'm just kind of hesitant about using it. And I'll use my bandsaw until I get comfortable with that saw. I need to do some work. I want to put a brand new blade on it, find out how to put a riving knife on it, clean up the table, dial in the fence, and then I can start ripping down some timber. Okay, now this first little honey dipper was pretty much done with the spindle gouge. I did most of the beads and coves and all that work. Throughout this, I'll use the skew to put in V-grooves. And then I also use it to try and part it off a lot of times. So because I hate sanding. I don't like sanding. I try to avoid it. The skew and the spindle gouge both give a cleaner cut than a parting tool. At least the way I do it. And so here is I've got a Jacob's chuck, but it's a direct thread for my spindle. So I don't have to worry about it loosening off and coming out as you would just a Morse taper one. And it's just holding a 3-inch pad, and I got 220 sanding paper on there, and I'm just taking off all the little nubs just to finish those out a little bit. And then I went ahead and put a little bit of Mahoney's walnut oil on all of them as just a little, because they're going to sit there at the craft table, and it gives it a little protective coat and it looks good. All right, friends, catch you on the next one.